Welcome to the Lakeshore Foundation virtual video of seated yoga. My name is Shirley Obert. I'm a fitness specialist at the Lakeshore Foundation. So today, for equipment, if you want to have a towel or a yoga strap to use during our class, you may want to have it sitting on a chair next to you. Then also, you can use a pillow or a small ball for some of our class. Right. So let's go ahead and get started. Just sitting in your comfortable chair with both of your feet on the floor, your hands on your quads, and just begin by focusing on your breath. You may want to close your eyes or have a soft gaze down. And as you breathe, relaxing your belly completely and taking several deep breaths. For the next few breaths, just bring your hands to your low belly. You may want to relax in your chair a bit, letting the back of your chair support your body. With your hands softly placed on your low belly, your belly relaxed, continue to deeply breathe and feel your belly rise and fall. Take several deep breaths. Releasing your hands a bit, you may want to come forward in your chair a bit more. So bring your hands up to your ribs. You may want to let your thumbs find the back side of your body. So with your hands just softly placed here, feeling your ribs, your lungs expand, continue to deeply breathe from your belly and take several deep breaths. Releasing your hands, bring your hands down to your sides and just soft hands, soft wrists. Begin to rotate the wrist, wiggle the fingers a bit, and then shake out your hands. So interlacing your fingers, rounding your spine, tucking your chin and tucking your tail, just lifting your elbows up slightly, pausing. And then as you look up, look at your palms, keeping the elbows bent. And you may want to modify, just as you do seated yoga, just knowing your limits, being safe as you move, and looking at the palms, just slowly coming up, taking a few more deep breaths. Releasing your hands, bringing your hands down to your sides. And let's begin with some nice, big, slow shrugs to the back. So as you shrug, your shoulders are heavy, elbows are slightly away from the body, and just notice if you feel any tightness or tension in your shoulders, your neck, your upper body. And with each shrug to the back, move a little slower. And pausing and lifting your arms up, looking up, and just imagine that you're climbing a rope ladder, extending long. Pausing and bringing those arms down to the sides, and then roll your shoulders back and down. So bringing your arms up, your palms are up, elbows are slightly bent. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders and roll your elbows forward. Pausing and then begin to roll the elbows back, soft, big circles. And bringing those arms down and shake out your hands again. So taking a finger and a thumb, we're going to do a little hand yoga. So just rubbing the skin on the back of your thumb. You may want to do that about 3 times on each of your thumbs and your fingers. And just taking your time, noticing how this feels. And then when you're ready, switching to the other hand. And bringing those arms down, soft roll of the wrist, wiggling the fingers again. Then pausing, interlacing the fingers again. So you may want to have your knees a little closer together. Interlacing those fingers, tuck the chin and the tail, bringing the elbows up slightly, rounding the spine, pausing, a few breaths here. And again, looking at your palms, shoulders down, soft elbows, and just lifting to the point of resistance, a few breaths. Releasing that big shrug to the back and repeating a few more times. So the option to stay with me or to move at your own pace. And as you ease those elbows up, shoulders down, rounding the spine, tucking the chin and the tail, a few breaths here. And as you ease up again, looking at those palms, lifting the arms up, big circle here, big shrug to the back. And let's do this 2 more times. So interlace those fingers and then lift those elbows up, tuck the chin and the tail, round the spine, a few breaths. When you're ready, gazing at the palms, slowly lifting up. Releasing that big shrug to the back, and one last time. So this last time, the option to have the palms facing or have your palms away from you. And then easing into this, tucking the chin and the tail, a few breaths, elbows stay softly bent. Lifting up, looking at your palms or the back of the hands. And releasing those arms and bring those arms down to your sides. Big shrug to the back. So now you have the option to use your towel or your strap, or you can use your hands. And we're just going to warm up our hips a little bit using a towel or a strap, just using some assistance here. So with your feet about hip-width apart, just bringing your towel or your strap underneath one quad, kind of at your hamstrings. Your belly is in halfway, and just lift that leg up and just pause, a few breaths. And then release and bring that foot down again. So let's do that a few more times. So again, either staying with me, moving at your own pace. So as you lift your leg up, just remind yourself to have your belly in about halfway and to continue to breathe. Releasing, and a few more times. Just lift up slowly. Your leg is heavy. Belly's in halfway. A few breaths. And releasing, and one last time. Just lift that leg up. And release. So let's switch to the other side. So you can also just use your hands here if that's comfortable. You want to be comfortable, the shoulders relaxed, your belly engaged. This is all about warming up our lower body and just kind of getting a nice stretch through the glutes, the hips. And releasing, just slowly bringing that leg down a few more times. So again, engaging your core, your belly in about halfway, breathing as you lift, pausing. And release. And let's do that 2 more times. Come on up. A few breaths. And release, and 1 last time. And bring that leg down slowly. So go ahead and release your strap. So the hands at the hips, your belly's in halfway, and just shift in your chair. And pausing at center, bring those arms down and rolling the shoulders back. So just swim, just bring one arm back and then the other, and just move your arms any way you like. And as you move, you may want to look to the back. And bringing your hands down to your sides, big shrug to the back. So bringing your hands back to your quads, just lifting one arm up. So reach up, then soften, bring that shoulder down, slight bend in your elbow, and roll your wrist and wiggle your fingers and turn your head side to side. So pausing here, bringing your hand either to the top of your head or the back of your head, and just some little pulses here. Just gently press the elbow back. And pausing. So with your opposite hand, just bringing it to the outside of your quad and turning to the back. Belly's in halfway. A few breaths, spinal twist. Releasing, returning to center. Bring that arm up. So just imagine you've got some sticky paint on your hand and you're going to wipe it off on a wall. And then the top of your hand has that sticky paint, and then bend that wrist and lift back up again. So a few times, just wiping that hand off on the wall. That hand is flexed, and then curling the hand under. And breathing as you move. And bring that arm down, and a few soft big shrugs to the back. And releasing, coming over to the other side. So bringing this arm up, you're going to reach up, then soften, bring that shoulder down, slight bend in the elbow. And again, turning your head side to side. So if you're saying no, and soft roll of the wrist, wiggle the fingers. And pausing here, so either keeping your hand at the top of your head or at the back of your head, whichever is more comfortable. Belly in halfway, and then ease over to the side. That opposite hand, you can have it on the outside of this quad, and then lift up a bit, a few breaths. Releasing, coming back to center, and then bring that arm down. A few shrugs to the back here. So here we're going to use the ball, and you can have a small pillow or a towel or a ball. It can be bigger than this also. And so just bringing it to your back of your chair at your shoulder blades, kind of in between those shoulder blades. So pressing into the ball, bringing one arm up and then the other, and as you pull back, just feel your shoulder blades moving. Engaging the core and just moving through that upper back just a few times. So you're bending your elbows, your hands, fingers spread wide, hands are soft and relaxed. And you should feel those shoulder blades moving. So pausing here, just bring those arms out, slight bend in the elbows, roll those wrists again. And then pausing, so bring your wrists up, your elbows are up, shoulders are down, and then bring those hands out. So as if you're making a W, press into that ball, bring the elbows in close to the ribs, and then ease your hands out. So you're squeezing the back side of the body. Your belly's in halfway, and breathe as you move. Exhale as you bring those elbows down. Then inhale as you release and bring those arms up. Just think of yourself making a W with your arms. And then bring those arms up, roll those wrists slightly, and then pausing here, and little pulses to the back. Elbows are slightly bent, core is engaged. So pausing here, and then bring the thumbs back just a few times. And bring those arms down. Big shrug to the back. So lifting one arm up and then the other. So your elbows bent, shoulders down and relaxed, and then pulsing to the back. And pause and bring those arms out, having the thumbs facing towards the back, elbows slightly bent, shoulders down and heavy. And then bring those arms down. Big shrug to the back. So with your ball at your upper back, just shift gently side to side. Just give yourself a little upper back massage here. This should feel good. So pausing here, and you can continue to use the ball. You don't have to have a ball at the back of your chair. So bring your ball right above your tail, or at your low back, and press into that ball. So as you press into the ball, you're curling your tail under, just doing a little modified cat here, a little curl up. So pulling the belly in slightly, and tucking the tail under, exhaling as you engage, and then slowly release. So press into that ball, just turn your tail under, belly's in halfway. We're working our core here. And then when you're ready, release. So go through, do that a few more times, your own pace. And you may also want to squeeze your glutes as you engage your core, tuck the tail slightly. Let's do that 2 more times. And release. So releasing your ball, before we release the ball from the back, just bring it up slightly, press into it, and rock side to side. Just a little back massage here. And then pausing, release that ball. So take your ball, put it at your ribs, kind of underneath that upper arm. Have an L shape in your arm here. So we're just strengthening the intercostal muscles, those muscles in between our ribs, helps to support our breathing. So with an L shape with your arm, you're pressing into a ball, or if you have a pillow here or rolled towel, and you're squeezing that, turn your hand under, pause, and then slowly release. So go through, do that a few more times. Let's do that 3 more times. And then release. So a few soft, big shrugs to the back, just let go of that shoulder, bring that shoulder back and down, and then take the ball, come over to the other side. You've got that L shape, your hand is open, and as you squeeze and exhale, you're kind of turning that hand under. Your core is engaged, a few breaths. And when you're ready, release. I'm going to do that total of 6 times. and release. And go ahead, soft shrug to the back, just let go of that shoulder. And bring that down. So with your ball in front of you, you may want to use all of your fingers, your thumbs, and just squeezing the ball, engaging your entire hand. Maybe one thumb at a time, then each finger at a time. Just warming up those hands, strengthening our hands. And then taking the lid off of a big jar, just turn that ball over. And then putting it back on. And then pausing. So take your ball, bring it to one quad. We're going to work our core again. Just one hand on top of the other, and you're going to press into the ball. Elbows are bent, and as you do this, pull your belly in halfway, and you may even want to bring the elbows up a bit, round the spine again, tuck the chin and the tail, and press into that ball. A few breaths. And then come back up to center. And let's do that 5 more times. So just take your time as you set up the movement. Just belly in halfway, tuck the chin and the tail. Elbows come up as you press down. And release. And then 4 more times. So press into it. Breathing. And releasing. 3 more times, just pressing in. And release. Pressing. And one last time on this side. And release. Now coming to the other side, on this side you may want to swap hands, and as you do this, just staying upright this time, core's engaged, and press into your ball. Just using a little bit more of your upper body strength here, pressing down. And release, and then 5 more times. Exhale as you press. Inhaling a few breaths. Releasing. Pressing into the ball, core's engaged. And release, press, and release. Bringing the ball back to center. Just roll that ball forward, just let go of those hands. Turn that ball over, take the lid off of that big jar, and then coming back. And then taking your ball and going ahead and bringing it over to the side. So both of your hands on your quads again, and just rub your hands back and forth. Just notice the sensation in your hands as you do this. Warming the hands. Bring the hands together and just warming the hands by rubbing them together. And then let's shake out our hands and do that big shrug to the back. So bringing one hand to the opposite shoulder, drop the ear down. You may want to close the eyes or have a soft gaze here. And as if you're saying no, as you just provide a little resistance, pressing on that shoulder, just a gentle press, and just a soft shake of your head. And then pause. So continue to press down, and then slowly bring your head back to center, and then switching to the other side. So providing a little resistance, press on that shoulder, drop that ear down, and just that soft shake, just say no here. And pause, coming back to center and repeating again. Opposite hand on the shoulder, just press down, drop that ear down, just saying no. And pause. Slowly returning the head to center, releasing, repeating on the other side, providing resistance by pressing on that shoulder, drop that ear, nice stretch, and then shaking your head. pausing, and then bring the head back to center. So bring that arm down, big shrug to the back. Bring those arms up again, those elbows are soft, roll those wrists, wiggle those fingers. Interlace those fingers again, gentle push through, tuck the chin and the tail. Gazing at your hands as you look up, and then releasing when you're ready. Your shoulders back and down. So bringing one arm up, just bring this hand to the back of your head or to the top of your head and looking down at your armpit. So you can even take your hand and press the top of your head or the back of your head into your hand. The core is engaged. So as you continue to provide resistance, just kind of letting up on your resistance a bit, bringing your head back to center. You've got that sticky pain on your hand again. And then you're releasing. You've got that pain on the top of the hand just a few times here. And one last time. Releasing that single shrug to the back. So bringing that other arm up, the hand at the top or the back of your head, just providing this resistance. And then just turning your head, and just looking down, looking toward your armpit. We call this a hygiene check. A few breaths here. So as you continue to provide a little resistance, just lift that head up, coming back to center, and bring that arm down. That paint, that sticky paint on your hand, back of the hand a few times here. And then bring your hand down. A few nice big shrugs to the back. So pausing here, bring the hands back to the quads or your low belly. We're going to focus on our breath again. You have the option to just wherever you're the most comfortable. So as you're here, that soft gaze down or eyes closed, focusing on your breathing again, your belly completely relaxed, taking several deep breaths and feel your belly rise and fall. Releasing those hands, bringing them up a bit about the level of your diaphragm. You can keep your hands in the front of your body or let the thumbs find the back side of the body. And as you continue to deeply breathe from the belly, feel the ribs, the lungs expand for sideways breathing. Take a few deep breaths. Releasing your hands, soft roll of the wrist, wiggle the fingers. So bringing one hand and then the other up to your chest, just gently pressing into your hands, and make a small circular motion, just giving your heart a little massage. And pause, bring those hands down, shoulders back and down. So bringing those arms up, reaching up, climbing that rope ladder. And pausing here, and then bringing your arms up like a genie. Just roll those elbows back. And pause and roll your elbows forward. So from here, bring those arms up, giving yourself a big hug and a pat on the back. So I hope you enjoyed our seated yoga class today and hope to see you again.